Alright, welcome to Respawn Console Repair. We got a Series X Xbox with no power. It doesn't do anything. I've repaired this before. It's come back. The first time was a MOSFET, so I'm going to see if maybe that MOSFET failed again. I do not know why. I know it was no power in the beginning, but I don't remember if he said it was a lightning strike or something like that, or it could have been just crapped out. I think what I found with this one was that one of the MOSFETs didn't have any thermal paste or thermal putty on it, so it was getting real hot and wore out. And I thought I addressed that, but we'll get it apart and then we'll see what's going on and see if it's something new or if it's the same MOSFET that I replaced. And if that's the case, then maybe I'll change some caps around it just to make sure it's getting the proper power and all that. So let's go ahead and get into tearing this apart. Let's see, let's zoom out a little bit. But let me demonstrate real quick. We'll plug it in. You see no fan kick. The power button is dead. So, okay. We'll get this taken apart here. What I like to do is I'll heat this sticker up. Just get it warm so it'll peel up a little easier so we can just reuse it and put it back down. You just want to get it warm. It peels up nice and easy until we expose that screw there. Don't you go anywhere. I want to reuse you. And there it is. Now I'll get a pair of tweezers. And there's a little latch here you pull back and then yeah, there we go. And the bottom comes off. And there's 4 screws, I believe. Yep, 4 screws. Two on bottom, 2 on top. Take that off. Alright, now let's get the fan out. Gently wiggle the fan connector back and forth, slide that out. And I take needle nose and kind of gently just wiggle back as I'm pulling up. Wiggle back and forth as you're pulling up. Disconnect the disk drive. Slide that out. And now we need to unhook power cable and the USB and sync ribbon. Okay. And now, there we go. And that should come out. Alright. I'll take this vibration band off, or anti-vibration band. You know, mine doesn't even have this band on it, because when I bought it off, mine I bought broken off eBay, fixed it, and now I have a, you know, Series X, but mine didn't have that, and I don't notice any noise or vibration without it being in there, so I don't know. It may not be necessary to have that, but you never know. So I'm going to start by taking off these panels, these Wi-Fi boards. And now I will remove the longer screws. And just go ahead and just disassemble. Now, if you're taking these apart for the first time, I would mark where like all your screws go. If you're, but if you're like me, who's taking these apart, hundreds of times, worked on a bunch of these, so you pretty much remember which screws goes where. So, but if you're just starting out, like I would take a marker and like mark by where the black screws go. I'd put like a little B, or where the medium screws, like these medium link screws that it uses, I would put like SM for silver medium, just so, and then SL for silver long. That way you know that it goes where that screw goes back. That's how I did it until I got used to, until I pretty much memorized where all the screws went. Now I don't even have to. I know exactly which screw goes in which spot. So. And that's just from repetitive doing this a bunch of times. Unhook this big ribbon here. Okay, power supply come off. Alright, so now I'm going to check and see if I've got a short on my 12 volt. And I will do that by putting my meter in continuity mode. So we'll check the south bridge board first. Nope. Okay. CP or APU board. Yep, we got another 12 volt short. So one of those MOSFETs is bad again. So, okay. So now you see all this. You don't have to take anything else off, especially if you're working on the APU side of the board. Now you can just crack this off and you can take the whole thing off. Leave the board on the aluminum mid frame, and you can just do that. You can save yourself time. You don't have to take all those screws off and all this stuff. And then I just set this to the side. Oh, this one has a stupid shield on it. Alright. Give me a second, we'll get this silly shield off. It's been off before, so it should come off easier this time. Yeah, oh yeah, lots easier. There we go. Super easy. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take this out. Now the MOSFET in question is, I think it's on the other side of the board, if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and get the hard drive out. Come on, there you go. Wiggle on out of there. And I just put the screw back in just so I don't lose it. Now this clamp has a lot of tension to it, so be careful. See how I did that? I loosened them all up and then I took them out because this thing does have a lot of tension behind it. A lot of springy action. Okay, and I'll set that clamp to the side. So now we're ready to pop the board up. Okay. All right. Don't really remember which one it was, but set this to the side. I believe it was one of these, but all right, let's see here. Continuity mode. Let's go to diode mode. Red probe on ground. And let's see. Yeah, we're all short there. All right, so might have to just make this easy and inject some voltage. Just to see where I really don't remember which one. I think I replaced this MOSFET here. Okay, so we'll get the let's get the thermal camera out and set up. We've got a infrared, really nice little thermal camera. It's got a macro lens on it. Let's see, where's my cord for it? Get everything hooked up here. All right, TC viewer. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I got the macro lens on. Let's take the macro lens off. There we go. Now, should be able to... Alright, so that's that row of MOSFETs right here. So let's get the bench power supply out here. Get it hooked up, and we'll inject like 1 volt, and then we'll see if anything gets warm. So we'll clamp this alligator clip onto the board where there's a ground. And then get my other lead here. And we'll turn on the power supply. So I got 1 volt. Alright, so we'll pick a spot here. Looky there. Alright, let's get the macro lens on so we can get a closer view. That MOSFET right there. Which one is that? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4th one in. 1, 2, 3, 4th one in. Which one is that? One, two, three. Okay, so yeah, it is the 4th one in. Look at that guy right there. Okay. So, this guy right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th one in, right there. So thermal cam is awesome. I love that thing. Saves me all kinds of time. It was 250 bucks, but it's a really nice thermal camera. Works great. So let's shut the power supply off. So that's a whole different MOSFET that was bad. Because I changed one on the end of this one before. So 1, 2, 3, 5th one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how do I want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So very center MOSFET. Alright. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that guy right there. Alright, so we'll get him off. Alright, so I got 470 Celsius at 70% airflow. and we're just going to go over the top of this and get the board, get some heat into the board, because this may take a minute to get this thing off of here. Not quite yet. These boards take a lot of heat. Not yet. Still not. Yeah, sometimes on these Xbox boards, they take quite a bit of heat and quite a bit of time to get them off of here. Wow. That sucker is on there. Turn the airflow up to 80%. Starting to wiggle. Ooh, don't do that. Come on, baby. Wow. There we go. Man, those are a pain. Okay, so now we'll put some flux down on there and we'll mix some leaded in with that so it won't be so hard to put it back down. Okay. Let's see if we can get a little more light. Put some fresh flux down. Come on, quit bridging up. Jeez. That's the thing when you're using a small tip. It doesn't have the surface area to wick up or to come on. There. I think I got them all separated and all retinned, so we'll clean it up a bit. Get this out of the way. Oh shoot. See, now you can see what I'm doing here. Because I'm a horrible YouTuber. Now this is all retinned with leaded solder, so it'll be easier to get put the new one back on. So alright, let's set this to the side and we'll grab our donor board. Oh, where are you, donor board? Donor board, where is you? Is this it? Yes. This is it. Okay. And we got our donor board. Alright, so we'll get this guy off. Hopefully this one doesn't take as long to get off. So what I'm doing is holding it with my tweezers and just gently lifting on it as I'm heating. But it may take it a minute to get off of there. like you did on the first one. Is that lead-free solder is no joke. Takes a lot of heat to get them off. Gee whiz. Wow, come on. Come on. There we go. All right. Set that to the side. Put our donor board back. Bring our new board in. Okay. So first thing I want to do is I want to make sure the short's gone. Now that it's had a chance to cool off. So we had our short, where we checked our short, was over here on the 12-volt rail. And short is gone. Okay. So hopefully it was just this guy was our problem. So got our new one here. Goes just like that. So we'll put some flux down. I'm going to come in, I'm just going to heat up the solder, get it molten, and then I'm going to place the MOSFET. Almost there. There he goes, shiny. So I'm gonna put some flux around there. I'm gonna hurry up and hit it again because it's a little off. Ah. Still crooked. Ah, don't go like that. Okay, I think that's cool. Alright, we'll push down. Come back in with the heat. Pushing down. Pushing out all the excess. Okay. So now we'll put a little more flux around there. And then we'll clean up the excess. Now I'm going to give that a chance to cool down a little bit. I hope that's on there right. It kind of looks, it looks like it's a little crooked, but it might be okay. We'll take a closer look. Bring it down some and we'll alright, that's just excess coming out, I believe. So I'll put a little bit more flux there. There we go. That looks better. All right. That looks better. make sure there's no bridges. Okay. And is our short still gone? Short. The short is gone. Okay. Cool. Now I just put my finger in goo. Thermal paste. Yummy. Okay, let me switch you back. So, let's get that out of the way. Alright, what do I want to do next? Oh yeah, let me make sure that I've got okay, so short's gone. Alright. So hopefully that fixes our problem. So let's go ahead and clean off this old thermal paste. It's not that old, I just put it on not too long ago. Get this cleaned up. Alright. Let's set it to the side. Where's our heat sink? Heat sink. Ugh. See, I got goo on my fingers. Mush these back up a little bit so they make contact with the ram. Oh, excuse me. My little butterfingers today. Alright. I'll just spread this. The excess from the sides. Let's spread that out. Arctic Silver 5 is good thermal paste. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any more, so I had to get some MX stuff. Some MX4. So we're going to put some MX4 on there. Get off of there, you little hair. Yeah, I prefer Arctic Silver 5, but we're going to use this stuff. And we'll just mix a little bit of the Arctic Silver 5 in with it. Why not? What's it going to hurt? Nothing. Okay. Now that that is evenly spread, I'll smush up this thermal putty for those MOSFETs that I just replaced, so they will have good contact. Now we'll put the heatsink back on, or the heatsink clamp, I should say. Just go ahead and get them started. 5 or 6 turns on each screw just to start getting it clamped down. And then I just cinch them all down about halfway, and then on the last one go all the way. But I just wonder why this guy is blowing MOSFETs. Hopefully that's the last one that blows on it for a while. Alright. Put the shield for that back on. Shield back on for that. Yeah. Okay, and we'll put the Southbridge board ribbon in. Grab our Southbridge board. Alright, and get our power supply put in. Make sure that's good and clicked in there. All right. I'm just assembling this enough to test. Hopefully this guy will fire up and it'll be fixed and I'll be happy, happy, happy. Now I'll probably most likely have to start this with a USB cable. want to start for me. Sometimes. There it goes. All right. Am I gonna get a picture? Yay, Xbox! Here, let me sure. Turn this. We'll switch my main cam. I really need to get my capture card working. There you go, fixed Xbox. Oh, hello. I gotta fix my camera again. There. It works. Hells yeah. There we go. Respawn strikes again. Got her freaking started back up. Alright. Alright, so let's get it shut down and we'll get it put back together. Come on. I just synced you. Why are you not working? What the hell? Ah, there we go. Turn console off. There we go. So now we can turn it off. And we will go ahead and put it back together. Go ahead and get everything unplugged here. So yeah, this one actually blew another MOSFET. So I don't know if it's, before it was one on the end. Now it was one dead center in the middle, so hopefully this will do it. Okay. Put our long screws in now. Okay. Vibration ribbon. Oh, wait. And there's something else I was forgetting. Wi-Fi board. See, it's alright to take these apart with your impact. Just don't put them back together with the impact. Save time on disassemble, but make sure you hand tighten back everything else. Because that's all it needs. Now we put the vibration ribbon on. Alright. Let's see if there's any dust in here. There's some dust in the case. We'll go ahead and blow that out. That's good enough. Ugh. Alrighty, you go just like that. Slide it in. See, as your fan doesn't look that dusty. Slide that back in. Where did my tweezers go? Oh, there. So this Nexus connector for the power button, you want to push down and then push that in there. And then this one in the USB connector, you want to make sure that that flap is up. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a little door here you got to flip up, and then the ribbon goes right into the bottom base, and then you snap that little door back down once you get it in there. I'm gonna have to put some more tape on that to hold it down. I'm just getting some tape. There we go. I will hold it down. Alright, so disk drive. Okay, so now I want to put the screws in the bottom. Back in. You sucker. Oh, it's not lining up like it's supposed to. There we go. Now it lined up correctly. Okay, so now we're ready to put bottom foot on. Just line the pegs up. Give it a twist till it snaps. And this guy put the tabs in on the top. Push the tabs in on the bottom, and they'll snap back down. There we go. Call me Surf Pro, like it never even happened. All right. All right, so successful repair. Let's fix my camera here. So it was bad MOSFET. This had previous bad MOSFET, but on the far right edge of the board. But this one was dead center MOSFET. So hopefully that's the last one for a while, for a good long while, so I don't get this back again. But yeah, so if you guys like this type of stuff, give me a like, drop a comment, subscribe. You guys have a good night.